Thanks for staying with us. We still have the catalyst here with us. We're talking about Prof's expression and his breaking down. What are your thoughts on it?
You know, honestly, I do not know how I would react if it was me. So I'm putting myself in his shoes. Astute professional. I've done this for so long. And then there's a glitch. And don't forget that where is he from? It's from the side that they say that...
manipulated.
So did he intentionally do it? He's not in control of anything. And so he understands how it feels to do exams. He's a professor. So he was coming out to announce. And honestly, I don't think a 70-year-old man, an astute professional, will plan it or fake it. It was a natural reaction. Yeah. He was feeling the pain of the children that have, are suffering from this. And so that was a natural response. Now, the God factor in when Jam posted, now that could have been done better. Okay. But in terms of the fact that any glitch can happen at any time, number two, these are the issues that we have with technology. We have to understand that there are pros and there are cons, right? And we have to take everything in our stride. So in addressing this issue, right, we have to consider people that have phobias for exams, people that have fears for exams. True. Now, what will not happen to them? So if it is possible, right, and we've been talking about the fact that there are many dimensions and layers to it. They've mixed up the answers. There's a glitch, so maybe they didn't even get some people's answers. It's really, really unfortunate. But beyond just taking the exams again, there should be a form of compensation for those students.
The 370 something plus.
Yes, there should be. You remember during COVID that people were on lockdown, right? Schools changed their system to continuous assessment. They realized that in that state of COVID, people could not really function in an exam setting. So a lot of schools use their cumulative assessment to judge the final result. And so JAM needs to be,
Okay, go ahead.
they need to be dynamic in their approach to it.
I wanted to say, don't you think JAM should have been prepared for this glitch? Because this is a country, just last year we had the election, the year before, and beavers did not work. Everybody was running up and down, beavers. So we know, it's not that we don't know that technology fails us. This is TVC now, the big fine studio, go phone, we're looking at the screen. Are you there?
We are not
we
there.
Are not there. So technology, am I lying? Technology fails us. So we should have been prepared. There should have been a plan B. That's one.
In case.
That is one of my, asking, I'm deferring to you. I'm asking you. Two, for the man that broke down, it's fine for him to break down, but the child that committed suicide, what of their own is more than breaking down. Now the third one is that could it have been because the guy I've been following his
post.
And I've been seeing how he has transformed JAM, the UTME, he has returned money, so there are some people that we don't like him.
True talk.
So there's a possibility of sabotage.
True talk.
Now we are talking.
So you
go and do this one and see.
So he was attacked. I think there was a year we had one CBT guy when he was reviewing CBTs for their corruption involved, and he was saying that some CBTs will be shut down. The guy they had created an association and was saying that they would call for his removal. And they were vehemently behind it. Let me say it in Yoruba, the way the guys were going, that he's denying them their own food because that's how they make their money. We know we had magic centers where you don't have to read. You go and write exam there, like don't let you just get one sitting. They were raining. They started in Lagos. They were raining. Everybody wanted to buy jam there. It was a course that never let me go and buy jam from today. Because my father placed the course, I only would have tried it in his house. But I would have tried it too because all my friends had tried it. They got admission straight. They were getting scores 300. And who were wanted to do law, you will not meet cutoff. Every year I wrote it again.
Wow.
But the way it was handled, I wanted to quickly jump on YK's question on the girl that committed suicide. Most of us, when we wrote JAM, the pressure was from outside and inside. Inside was easier because they'll just tell you, just go and get ready and buy you next form.
Yes.
They have finished their conversation. Nobody tells you sorry. Maybe my mom once in a while will tell you sorry. But once your result comes out and it doesn't meet it, they'll buy you next form. Nobody is counseling you. But the pressure from outside was that some of your friends who cut corners, I had a friend who was doing her master's when I finally got degree in law admission. And it took everything to, you're building your resilience. I don't have a time to, this is life. This is life. That's what they'll tell you. But the pressure from outside, when your friends come back from school, they're talking campus gist, you see a right job center, you're looking at them. We distanced from some friends. We lost some. The pressure from some families that I saw, I didn't envy their kids.
Yeah.
Where fathers will say, no be your mates be that. Yeah, comments like that. True. Some will tell their child, after this jam, pass and just go and kill yourself. I saw that kind of comments from parents. I was grateful that at least nobody is telling me that kind of thing at home. Can we handle outside pressure? Then more importantly, how must parents treat their kids when their exam results doesn't, conform?
There will always be pressure in life.
Yeah.
Whether it's outside, whether it's in your own family, whether it's peer pressure, there will always be pressure in life. And, I want to lean in on, some statements that we've made this morning. When she was talking and she said that her niece, right, said, this is not my result. That is a child that has a healthy self-worth, that has a healthy self-esteem, that has a healthy self-confidence. Self-worth is, I know my value. Self-confidence is, I know what I can do, and I know what I did. Self-esteem is, irrespective of the result, it hasn't changed how I feel about myself. Now, it is the role of parents to develop those three things. Those three things, you can never succeed in life without them.
True.
Our number one role as parents, as teachers, as guardians, is to build a self-esteem, how your children feel about themselves, their self-worth, the value that they place upon themselves, their self-confidence, their confidence in their abilities and their competencies in what they have done. This is so important. Now, with a child that has a healthy self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, you now come and tell the child, the friends come and tell the child that, you pass, we pass, so we don't go university. Hajia just said that she did hers several times. Did it change you? No. She said she was building her own internal resilience.
The most confident people on set.
Yeah. So confidence, esteem, self-worth is very, very key. I said something about resilience. In today's world, where everything is so fast-paced, things don't work the way that you want it to work, it's volatile, it's unpredictable, it's complex, it's ambiguous, things are just happening anyhow. You need to develop emotional self-resilience. It is very, very critical. So, as parents, we must incorporate that in our children's
I want you to pause there because we want to build on that.
I wanted to ask a question in relation to that. So, this particular climb of ours, we place a lot of emphasis on paper qualification. You have to go to school to be seen as somebody, especially if you are coming from a background of nobodies, right? And parents will do whatever it takes to make sure that they are able to put their children through school. And so those examinations now seem like that is what makes you either a success or failure. And that's how they relate to you at home. All of us face all of those pressures. I was collecting insults back to back to back to back because of my inability to understand maths. It was a problem. So how do we get parents to understand? And looking at the outside world now, we came out and we realized that the movers and shakers were not the A students. I'm not even seeing them. My A students those days, I'm not even seeing them. some are doing okay, some are doing well, but nothing fantastic. And the C students that we were at the time were now the ones employing many of the A students and doing very well in their different fields of endeavor. And because of that mindset, it's also helping me to relate to my children when they come with their results. I have A students. I have the one that does not send. He's the most creative and solution-oriented in the house. If you have a problem, he's the one you call and he gives you the solution, right? And I see that aspect of him, but when it comes to sitting down to write the exam, he gives you whatever he feels like. And that helps me in how I relate with them when they come back with their results. Now, how do we open the eyes of parents to understand that when a child writes an exam and probably fails this particular exam, it doesn't make him a failure. It's not the end of his life. And you are supposed to help him understand that he needs to do better without necessarily killing him or shutting him out.
I'll let you respond after this short break. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.